Welcome back to the conversation. I'm Nubareto. Conversation. We talk about different things going on in the community. I know it's been a tough few weeks as we're living that quarantine life, but listen, I just encourage everyone to stay positive. And it's tough. I'm having a tough time doing it, but the alternative is being negative, and that's even worse. So stay positive. We're going to get through this, and we're going to be better for it. One of the good things about this quarantine is I've been able to talk to different people, and we have a special guest here today. Really one of my best friends. We've been going way back, man, for years now. Mario Lamarre. Mario, appreciate what you're doing. Mario is working at the Boys and Girls Club and really spearheading, I think, the best basketball summer league in the state, if not New England. Mario Lamarre. Mario, appreciate coming on the podcast.
Hey, Newbie, how you doing? No problem.
Mario, it's funny. We're going to talk about the Summer Hoop League and a lot of different things, but there was a controversy. I don't want to say it wasn't a bad controversy. It was a great conversation on Facebook about some of the greatest players in Brockton High history. And I was just talking to Brian Rudolph, one of the New Bedford legends over there, and we're talking basketball for a while, and then got me thinking about Brockton basketball. In the last 20 years, it's 2020, so let's do the last 20 years. Who's the best female, male player to ever come out of Brockton?
Honestly, I can't give like a direct answer.
Oh, come on. Don't be all political with me. Don't give me that.
No, here it is right here. So originally I'm not from out here. I came out here, like I said, when I was 18.
Right.
And I started learning about the culture of Brockton and being fascinated by the amount of talent that comes out of here just as much as in Boston. And with that fascination, that's what kind of made me grow the love of basketball all over again, but not from a player's perspective, but from a coaching standpoint. Mm-hmm. And just seeing these guys and seeing how much more they could develop and how much they were willing to develop. So I had to learn about the history of Brockton and people who were junior high stars from people who were the top players at Brockton High. And it all intertwines to one. And that's why it'd be difficult to pick just one, because it's like they all were different.
All right, well, give me two then. Give me two then, gosh darn it.
All right, so now from just my personal perspective, seeing someone like George Guyton and playing against him, but also seeing him, and George and me were friends, and he never seen that. He never noticed because we're so close to age that I'm like evaluating him like I'm evaluating any basketball player. That's just a switch in my head that I put on, and like I get fascinated by things that they can do and their effort on the court and even off. And he's one of the first people when I came out to Brockton that I seen that he had that killer instinct every time he came on the court, but he just had something special. But he also had work ethic that just made him become just undescribable on the court to the point where anyone in front of him, he always said something funny like, hey, if I can't guard them, they can't guard me. Right. And I'd always bring up like NBA players' names, but that confidence alone is just something interesting. And the other one is probably Jarrell Jackson. And it's funny because Jarrell never went to Brockton High.
Right, played over at Cambridge, right?
Yeah, North Cambridge Catholic, which was my rival high school from my high school when I went to Trinity. And just to see Jarrell as a freshman on varsity to what they had to do to plan day in, day out to strategize on how to stop this guy. And mind you, he's not really a huge guy, but that just showed you how he had to have more tricks in his bag in order to be successful on the court against guys who are 6'6", 6'5" guards and then 7 feet centers. Back then, there were definitely a lot more bigger guys, more physical basketball. I feel like that's why it's difficult to say who's the best, because the generation has changed, and so has
and the game has changed. The game has changed completely. Yeah. I would say it's different. I'm just going the last 20 years. This is the last 20 years, so from 2000 to now. I'm going to say the best, in terms of the best female athlete, I think from Brockton out from basketball, just in pure dominance, I think it's got to go with Taryn Johnson. I mean, I've never seen a player just completely dominate a game. I would take Taryn and Tiffany Huggins. You talking about just this absolute beast, and two different positions. Tiffany Huggins was more of a two or point guard, and Taryn Johnson played more as a forward, power forward. But in terms of dominance, on the boys' side, this one's difficult for me. I'm just going on, this one's difficult, but I'm just talking about my own two eyes. The person who really dominated the game, I thought, in terms of scoring, and I don't think it was that skilled in terms of, I don't think he was the fastest. I don't think he jumped the jumped the highest. But I just think his skill, he reminded me so much of Kawhi Leonard. Is Gerard Durant. I think
Gerard's incredible.
I mean, his game reminds you of Kawhi Leonard because I don't think he's the fastest, but he has a shot. He knows how to play the game. He's fundamentally sound. He's big. So he was a physical, big type of stretch four two guard.
He was a guard, and he just knew how to. He had incredible body control.
Right.
A lot of times, people can be known for specific things, and that can highlight their game and basically put them higher in the category of being the best. Some people were incredible shooters, and if that ball left their hands, it was going in the hoop. Other people just all around, and that's why with Brockton it's so interesting, because even with somebody like George and him not playing Brockton High varsity, or Jarrell playing for another area outside of Brockton, there's so much more of these stories of people doing that, or kids going to prep schools like Nizare and other people like that they were there in the beginning of Brockton High career as freshmen and sophomores in junior year, but they went somewhere else for their senior year. It's just like,
and to be quite frank, I haven't seen them play, as much as I've seen the others who actually played for Brockton High.
And that's why it's always going to be something challenging. Like even when I was speaking to Coach Bowen a few months ago,
Niz was a cold-blooded killer. I mean, that guy, man, when he was in range at half court. I mean, when he was on fire, it was scary.
Even at a young age, he was just that kid with fire. Like, oh man, I'm not leaving this court. Like, I earned my spot to be here, even at a young age. But one thing that was incredible about him, and why I feel like he's where he is right now, his character off the court was just as incredible. So that allowed him to have more doors open, because no one would lose sleep trying to invest in somebody with great character. And I feel like with us being in a city, sometimes situations don't allow some of our players to reach their full potential. Because if a lot of people had the mindset of Nizare or Akeem Williams or all these other people, I'm telling you right now, it'd be insane how many Division I college basketball players Brockton would produce. And a lot of times it's just a culture that we have in a city. Sometimes people don't understand that is as important as the ball going in the hoop. And once people start to figure that out, I think that the city can progress as being one of the best cities in the country to produce not only basketball players, but athletes all in all, from football to soccer and so on and so forth.
I think we got to include Lewis Monson there. First of all, that 2019 was incredible. That's to this day the best Brockton High team they've ever had. Watch, man. I mean, 1 through 11. I mean, you want to talk about Rondell Best, Lewis, Gerard,
Tim Young, Timo, Sean Yard.
I mean, just 1 through 9. It was nuts. That was a great team. So I think Lewis got to be included there. A really dominant big man for Brockton. And I just got to give him credit because, listen, I don't think he's the best player at Brockton, but his number speaks for itself, and he's a 1,000-point scorer. So in terms of best scorer to come at Brockton, just numbers-wise, we got to give up to Jonathan DeVivier. I mean, he's a 1,000-point scorer.
And Jonathan is a relentless scorer, but it's funny because it's just like you're saying, sometimes you have to break it down to achievement or skill. And that's why it's such a gray area, because a lot of people who didn't score 1,000 had a skill level that was absolutely insane. But how far did they actually go due to having control of their character off the court and on the court? Like, there's so much components that need to be said in order to get the right answer. And there's so many people. That's why with Brockton, I love it so much, where I'm just like, you can never pick one. And I like what Nizare did on Facebook the other day, trying to create a Hall of Fame. And I think that more so is a more realistic outcome that can occur for the city. But it's beautiful. I love it. I sit back. I see doubters always say things about certain kids in Brockton because they're too small or this. They're only going to get this far. You know how everybody thinks they're analysts and they're not around the game half as much. And then when you see these Brockton kids prove them wrong, it's the most beautiful thing in the world.
And we can't forget about the Bernard family. I mean, I think Steve Bernard. I mean, he was a moose. I think he graduated 2001. I believe it was 2001. That was the year they made it to the Garden that year, and they lost at the Garden. That was him and PJ Bernard.
Steve Bernard was just different. Like I said, I came out here when I was 18, and that was one of the guys I first met as well. And Steve Bernard he would not stop moving. I haven't seen anyone on the court that you talk about why Westbrook is such an incredible player, and it's just Westbrook doesn't every day, every night, no matter, it can be a rec game, Westbrook's going to go 110%. Right. Steve Bernard just did not take his foot off the gas, and his upper body strength and just his work ethic, there was no comparison. And he was
the whole Bernard family. You had about 3 of them. I mean, you had it was Ray Bernard, it was PJ Bernard, and Steve Bernard.
Yep.
So just all 3 of them were beasts. I mean, was Steve? Was he a point guard?
Steve was a guard from what I seen when I seen him play.
Okay, and then Ray Bernard was the big. He was the big center. He was a moose. He was actually a wrestler. He played over at Babson for a while, and then PJ Bernard. I mean, there's so much talent. There
was so much, man. There was players that came from Brockton High that played for Cincinnati, right. like they are at an early stage, and a lot of times that's one thing that we need to carry on tradition and just educate the newer breed of children and people in Brockton, where there needs to be a system so these kids have access of knowing these individuals. A lot of times when I see who's the best in Brockton, I never post anything. I just read through it because sometimes it's comical, but it's good to see because you see a lot of people who really believe, and like you said with Lewis, they have proof. There's no lies in the numbers. There's no lies in the D1 scholarship offers. It's a full body of work. It's not only putting the ball inside the hoop. It's character. It's everything.
It's grades. It's grades.
To show these kids that.
Yep, it's grades, discipline, the whole 9. It's everything.
And it's real. It's it can't just be only involving basketball. That's why, as a coach, something that I love even more as a player, and I take so serious, is to the point where I need them to learn that it's a life culture. It's a way of thinking. This is you if you decide to be great. And it's not only basketball. If you decide to be great at anything, you have to connect it to the character choices, the effort behind everything and anything you're doing. And that's why I like coaching. That's why I'll go do it for free for whenever. And it's because it challenges me. It keeps me on my toes. But I also know that as a coach, you need to adapt every 5 years because things change. And that, like I said, that keeps me feeling young. And I just want to make sure that these kids can become incredible. But even before basketball, it got to be character, because character is the only reason why you have access to that door of a D1 or a D2. Absolutely,
absolutely. So, quickly before we wrap up here, Summer Hoop League, we're gonna think positive, and everything's gonna, this coronavirus will pass, and everything's gonna be rock and roll for the summer. How are we looking for the Summer Hoop League?
Truthfully, I'm pushing for it.
Right.
I'm trying to see what the next moves will be. I as you know, I am no longer the athletic director at the Boys and Girls Club anymore.
Right.
I transitioned to another position, and
congratulations.
Thank you so much. So it's just now I'm trying to broaden the league to the point where I'm trying to reach out to places like Massasoit or anything like that, and have it ran there. And it's going to be, if I do it, it would be separate from Brockton After Dark. But like I said, I don't know if I'm going to actually do it this year, just based off of everything that's going on. And
right.
I have to be sensitive to the incredible people who have backed it with donating money countless years.
Absolutely.
And I have to know that they have families, they have children. So I don't feel comfortable asking them for a huge amount of money, even though they believed in it, and it's been successful for 6 years now, and it's because of them. So right now, I'm just trying to see other ways for funding, and looking to bring it back in 2020 summer. I love it. The kids love it. The successful basketball players that are playing college basketball love it, because they're killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Right. They're getting high competition, but at the same time, they're actually creating new brotherhoods with guys they never met before in their life.
Right.
And then by the end of August, these guys are close. They're keeping in contact with each other throughout the school year. That's what I'm trying to build still.
Absolutely. Well, Mario, we're proud of you, and anything you need, I'm behind you 100%. And we'll stay safe. Make sure your family is safe, and this too shall pass. So brighter days are gonna be ahead. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited for the summertime to wear my cowboy hat, right? Wear the cowboy hat.
I've got even shout out to Curtis Henderson with his first Division I offer.
Hey, shout out to Curtis. Okay.
Division I college offer, his first one. More to come. And that's one of my kids I've watched since he was 7 years old at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yep.
And I just love seeing all the hardships that he had to go through, and he definitely defeated those obstacles on the court and just in general. Has an incredible mother, father, family, and backing. And I'm just happy that we got to be part of his run, to just see him become an incredible man. And he proved all the doubters wrong. Yeah, his height, he's not going to grow enough. Like I told you, all these guys think they're Stephen A. Smith, but guess what? You're wrong.
I tell you, Mario, seriously, I mean, the things that you did in that league the last couple of years. God's on truth, man. One of my highlights of my week is walking with my cowboy hat and announcing those games. I mean, it's just so much fun, so much talent, so much positivity in one gym. So just kudos to you, and whatever you're going to do, I know it's going to be good. I know it's going to be good stuff. So we're behind you.
No, I appreciate it, Newbie, man. Thank you again, and thanks for having me.
All right, brother. Take it easy.